Hey guys, bit more goings on at the old Japanese farmhouse. You'll remember around the back here we have these old sheds, and in this one on the right hand side here there is an attic. We did a brief explore of back in the first exploring the Japanese farmhouse video. We had a bit of a look up there at what was going on up there, but we really didn't fully search the place. We just had a bit of a look around. So the time has come to give it a proper searching. So we got a good light so we can see what's going on. Hey, I've got a good idea. And sorry about that, couldn't help myself. Anytime I've got a light bulb in my hand, I've got to do that old gag. Anyway, so yeah, got some good light up here so I could see a bit better. Last time, you'll remember in that exploring the farmhouse video, we did it with a torch, and it sort of was good for atmosphere but wasn't very effective, so needed a real light up there so we could see what was going on. Oh, that looks interesting. We'll get back to that. So okay, hook the light up near the ceiling somewhere. That's good light, isn't it? Where to start? Where to start? So pretty dusty, as you can imagine. Hard to know when somebody would have been up here. Beautiful old wood, isn't it? Fantastic. There's an old newspaper from 1980 with a an old car on the being advertised on it. Bit of nostalgia there. We got there a big mochi making hammer. You guys have seen that on the food and eating playlist, making mochi with the big hammer and the big stone bowl. That's really heavy, by the way. See those guys swinging that hammer? Oh, it's just a lid off a wooden, what do you call it? Wooden bowl? No, not a bowl. Wooden bucket. Yeah, this thing probably, it's a cooking pot. It's got a rounded bottom and it's got two hooks, one on either side. So it looks like it's from a irori. So probably would have been hung over a fire. Yeah, this thing, we suspect it's an armrest. So for people that sit on cushions on tatami floor, they used to use those like an armrest. Just put it beside them and lean on it with their elbow. So we think that's probably what that is. So it was a bit precarious, guys. Where I was sitting there was on purpose because there's a beam under me, but the rest of the floor up there was a bit suspect. Lots of creaking and groaning going on from the floor when I moved around. So that would have made a good YouTube video, wouldn't it? If I fell through the floor, that would have been popular. But I didn't. Sorry, I survived. Kotatsu in that box. You know the. I think we had that. What playlist was that on? It's one of those small tables that they have in tatami rooms, like a low table with a heater under it, and you sit with your feet under the table. I have made a video about that. Search Kotatsu on my channel and you'll find that one. So that's a virtually new kotatsu in that box, and it was very heavy. And naturally there wasn't just one, there was two, as always with the old guy. Oh, and string. This man was the master of the string. I swear we've got kilometers of string now and rope of different sizes. He just loved it. We've got at least 500 meters of serious rope, and then we've got this string here. There's at least a couple of kilometers of this string, just, I don't know, wrapped up in boxes, new, unused, and was never going to get used either, was it, sitting up there? But anyway, so I'll just move you over to this other corner so you can watch what's going on over here. Who knows what that is? It's one of those things they tie to fishing nets, isn't it? Or to long line. I don't know, it's a fishing thing. It's a glass ball that they use for fishing because it floats. Oh yeah, clothes, boxes and boxes of old clothes and old material, just random material, boxes and boxes of it, all tied up with string. Ah, yeah, I knew I was onto something here when I opened this box. This was exciting, guys. I opened this box and took one look inside and went, right, here we go. This is good. This is good. Check this stuff out. So that's just a little pottery. What was that? A couple of pottery mice. Little scene it was. But check this out. This is one of my favourites. So that's got to be, I don't know, how old's that, guys? Clock experts. How old's that? 60 years old? 70 years old? Might be even older. I don't know. It's a classic. It really is a classic. Beautiful thing. It's still got the pendulum in it. It's still got the key. So I haven't tried to wind it up yet. I'm almost tempted to give that its own video, because that's a beautiful thing, that thing. So I'm yet to test it out. I'll test it out, see if I can get it working. And I might do a video on that, because that's a beautiful piece. And have a look at this. This is cool. This is an oil lamp. And when I found that, I thought, look at that. That's a beautiful thing. What a shame it hasn't got the glass. You know, that's a beautiful thing. Oil lamp. And old. Way old. So I'm guessing the house is like 40 years old. So I'm guessing this stuff has come from somewhere else. And look at this. This is classic. It's it seems to be a miniature of the pulley that you find on top of the wells. So at the top of the well, they usually have a little wooden roof like that, and then a big wooden pulley, and a sort of a system for pulling up the buckets, you know. And that's a miniature version of it. So I'm guessing it's just decorative. I'm guessing it doesn't actually serve a purpose. But it is old, and it was beautifully made of wood, so it was a real score, that thing. And look at this, guys. It's the glass from the lamp, with the wick still in it, ready to go. Isn't that a beautiful thing? So this stuff is some of the older stuff I've found in the house. There is some other old stuff that we found that we've showed you already, but this is probably some of the older stuff. This and that clock, I think. So again, I don't really know how old this stuff is. I'm just waiting for some old people to visit me here at the house and tell me, you know, oh, I know that, you know, my grandfather had one of them or something. We'll get probably some info like that somewhere down the track. Oh, miniature version of that fisherman's balls. Sorry, that was juvenile of me. Yes. Yeah, not sure about this. It's possibly for flowers. It's a wooden thing with a little pottery thing inside it, so it's possibly for flowers, decorative for flowers. Not really sure. It's a what do you call that? Handmade. It's material and it's sewn. What do you call that, guys? It's a what's that? What do you call that? It's sort of like sewing, knitting. It's not. I can't remember. It'll come to me later on. Yeah, my friend who's knowledgeable on such things suggests this is probably for catching octopus, because the guy's into his fishing, and it's a pot that's covered in barnacles. So my friend suggests that it's for octopus, and they do use them for that. They leave them in the ocean, and then the octopus like to climb into clay pots like that, and they recover the clay pot with the octopus inside. So it's possible. Best explanation we've come up with so far for a pot with barnacles on it being kept in a box. Here's a old sake bottle. Often see those at shrines and temples, those old sake bottles like that. Sort of traditional style. Decorative plate with some nice kanji on it. Then I found this thing and thought, what's that there? Oh, hang on, wait a moment. It looks like a stand. It's a stand for the plate. A random carved wooden bear. Carved wooden bears are pretty popular here. We've actually got a couple of those now. A couple of carved ones, a couple of pottery ones. Oh, there's another mochi pounding hammer without the handle. And actually, an hour or so later, I found the handle. So we now have the handle for that. So we now have two complete old mochi pounding hammers. There's another kotatsu. Told you there was another one. So virtually new. Virtually may or may not have been used. Hard to know. But yeah, good condition in its original box. So we've now got, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 kotatsus. Oh yeah, look at this. How random is this? In amongst all this old stuff, there's this. Brand new, unused. It seems like the old guy was into different business schemes, you know. There seems to be, he seems to buy up big quantities of stuff like this. So it seems, I don't really know, but it seems like you know, he's into sort of trying to make $1 from some of this stuff. But that's where all the not interesting stuff's going. That's the bottom of the ladder, guys. I'm sort of throwing it all down the ladder as this is good, I'll keep this. No, that's just rubbish. So that's the rejects. That's all the rejects down there. So a couple of big bins here. Gloves are coming off because I was really surprised. Those lids are really tight, and when I took them off there was no dust at all inside. Really clean, no dust, no insects, just 12 really beautiful old cushions in really good condition. So I don't know how old they are. They might not be that old, but perfect condition, beautiful. We'll be using them. So there's 12 of those, and then this other box beside it. Really super tight lids seems to have made the difference, kept them clean and kept the insects out. Yeah, this one was just random cushions and random blankets, so not really sure what to do with those. So moving along. Yeah, there's another mystery. Look, there's possibly another scheme we've stumbled on here. These boxes here, tied up with paper and string and a whole ton of other stuff, contain wool in a sort of a raw form. Look, well, it's wool. So, I don't know, guys, what do you do with wool like that? You spin it, don't you? Use a spinner. Isn't that how you do it to make wool thread? You take the raw wool like that and spin it, don't you? Use a spinning machine. So whether there was someone in the family did wool spinning or something, but there was a ton of this. There was more than this. I put all this together to show you, and then later found another couple of boxes of it. So there's just loads of it there. So I don't quite know what the plan was with that, but anyway, there it was. What's next? Can't remember myself now. What was in that corner? Oh yeah, I do. Now look at this. So those of you who've watched a few of these videos, these old Japanese house videos, and seen me digging all this stuff out of all the different rooms, won't be surprised by this, but just the quantity of stuff, you know, and so much stuff like this, new stuff. So here's a saucepan with a aluminium saucepan with an aluminium lid, new in a box. That's pretty random, isn't it? Except that there isn't just one, of course. There's never just one of anything in this house, as you know. There's a whole box of them. So it's hard to imagine what could transpire that he'd end up buying a big box of these and then storing them up in the attic where he's never going to look at them again, you know? Pretty random, isn't it? So it does seem to me like there's 8 of those. Yes, 8. It does seem that there's been a whole bunch of business schemes going on, you know. Let's try and see if we can do a business with this, or I don't know. Hard to know. It's making us curious though. Another random bucket lid. yeah, on eBay we've put some plastic bento boxes that are quite nice, but this box is actually, this cardboard box is actually full of wooden bento boxes. So the original lacquered wooden bento boxes, and in amongst them there's a couple of quite nice ones too. So that's a bit of a score. Pretty happy to see them. This house has been 90%, 95% junk, 5% good stuff. So every time I come across some good stuff, it's sort of encouraging to keep going, because, you know, so far we've like 2 or 3 tons of rubbish that we've taken away. So in amongst it, finding these little scores now and again, it's good motivation. Keep looking, because you don't know what's going to be in the next package wrapped up in string. Take some string off, you never know what you're going to find. So take the string off this one. We've got another bucket, another wooden bucket. Unused. Old but unused. Another one. That's another one. Different style, see? Beautiful. And another one, but this one's a little bit different. See the camera moving there? It's because the floor's moving. That's how dangerous that particular area was. The whole floor was moving every time I moved. That's a steamer, guys. Those of you who haven't seen that before. So you can see there's 2 of them there. So you put the steam, get the steam happening underneath, and the steam passes up through the bamboo and steams the stuff. So we'll do a bit of a before and after, shall we? Just a quick reminder of what this room looked like when we first started rattling around up there. There's one thing that I haven't showed you that I found up here, guys. It's going to get its own video. Big wooden thing. I'll show it to you in its own video, because it's the oldest thing we've found, I think. So anyway, this is what it looks like now. Have a look at this. Bit of an improvement, isn't it? Reduced the fire hazard a little bit. We'll leave that stuff that's there, will stay there. There's no point in pulling all that stuff out. And we've got enough buckets already, we'll just leave those there as well. So there you go. So now I just have to sort out that. That'll be the next project. More videos coming soon.